Hey guys, happy Tuesday to everybody. I wanted to pop on because I promised to make this video, and I thought today it's quiet enough this morning that I can quickly make the update on the lip tint. So I got a lot of responses that they were curious about it and wanted to learn more about it, why I was doing it, all of the things. So I thought, what a better way to do that is do the update, let you know how I think the color is coming in, and also explain a little bit more about the procedure. What exactly is it? How long does it last? All the questions that you guys had asked. So here we go. So I have just finished my workout. This is generally how most people will see me, is fresh-faced, no makeup on, maybe a little bit of mascara, but that's generally how I navigate most of my days, unless I have meetings that I have to be on camera for, especially possible negotiations for my job. So that's usually when I will actually put, regular makeup on, which isn't very, luckily it's not very often. But this is generally how most people in real life will see me. I'm not a person who enjoys wearing a ton of makeup. I never have. I'm a little lazy about it, so I prefer not to have any makeup on my face at all. And when I do wear makeup, it is actually very minimal. I never wear a liquid foundation. I'm just not a fan of it. I have had I have sensitive skin, which doesn't help. But I have a lot of breakouts still at the age of almost 49 years old. So less is more for my skin. So I tend to wear as little as possible. And most days, especially because I'm working from home, I don't have to wear any makeup. And I'm usually living in workout gear. It's what's comfortable. My hair is usually up. I don't always get myself all put together and dolled up, so to speak. It's just not my nature. I've just never been really big on it. So yeah, why do I get permanent makeup done, or why do I get certain things done? That's exactly the reason. So I got a lot of questions of, well, why would you do that? And the reason why I do most things is because I am not a person who has ever been very self-confident. It's something I struggle with every day, have for my whole life, and it's probably something I'm going to struggle with for the rest of my life. So I do things that, one, make me feel more confident about myself. It's why I generally don't like to be on camera, although I force myself, because it is part of my growth as, a human, trying to overcome those hurdles of, not having great, self-esteem. So that's why I kind of try to force myself to, push myself out of my normal comfort zone for things. And this is one way to do it. Also, coming on without a bunch of makeup on is something that's, not an easy thing for me, but also, it's good for me to share myself, how people see me in real life. Why does it bother me that, why would I want to put makeup on for you guys versus, people who see me in real life? It's just different. I don't know why. It's just different. And it's the same with like meetings and things. I don't have to put makeup on, but it makes me feel better. It makes me feel more confident, especially if I'm working on a really tough negotiation and I'm going to be face to face with our industry partners. It just helps. So that leads me into why I have had the microblading done, which if you're not familiar with microblading, I'm just going to quickly touch on that because it's also permanent makeup. And it just kind of fits in the box of this, of why, because people had asked the question of why would you have certain things like this done? So as I've aged, and because of my age, if you're anywhere around my age, you'll remember the times, how many years ago, when very thin eyebrows were in. Like when I was younger, I had very thick eyebrows and I had very dark eyebrows because I have very dark hair. So as the trend of thinning eyebrows, I plucked and I plucked and I plucked to the point where as I was aging, they didn't come back in. So, add the fact that I plucked a lot when I was younger, and then aging, where they just, as we age, for some reason, our eyebrows are like very commonly for most women, the first thing that starts to thin out, including, all of us tend to struggle, most of us, not all of us, but some of us do struggle with thinning hair as we age as well. It's just part of, hormonal changes as a woman. It just happens. It could be genetic. So I found that, one, even though I have bangs most of the time, I do like to pull my bangs back quite a bit, actually. But I was not happy with how they looked. I didn't like the shape of them. So I went ahead and it was at the I want to say first year of the pandemic. That's when I got my eyebrows microbladed for the first time. And what microblading is it's basically tattooing, and we call it permanent, but like it only lasts so long because, especially on your face, especially my face, I have very oily skin. Honestly, I think it sheds the color a little bit more when you have oily skin, or I don't really know for sure, but the original microblading I had done at the beginning of the pandemic, it lasted for a couple of years before I felt like I really needed to get them filled back in. And so I have had that done recently. So now they're, because with eyebrows, they really do frame your eyes, and I am not one for trying to put makeup on my eyebrows, like filling them in. It's just never been my thing. I've never been good at it. Didn't want to mess with it. And so it helps me be more lazy. Let's put it that way. I feel like these things help me be a little more lazy, so I don't have to put anything on my face if I don't want to. It's just easier for me. And then it leads me to the lip tint. So what is lip tint? What is it? What is the procedure? What are you having done? It is basically tattooing color onto your lips. And people keep asking, was it painful? Yes, it was painful. I have many tattoos at this point. And I've had the microblading done, which didn't need numbing for. It's not really that big a deal, even though it's tattooing. It's just in a different spot that your skin is less sensitive for some reason. Maybe it's from all the plucking. I developed strong, they're not sensitive in those areas anymore. But with the lips, even with some numbing, it's a topical numbing. It definitely stung. But I will tell you, it was a great experience. It takes about, I want to say it's like a 2-hour appointment is how long my appointment time was. And yes, your lips swell. I actually left the appointment feeling like I had just had a fresh set of lip injections done, lip filler, which I haven't had done in many months at this point. So it was like they were very full because yes, the skin on your lips is very sensitive. It's also very thin. And so I went with the intention of just highlighting and enhancing the color that is already on my lips. I'm not unhappy with the lip color. However, it just brightens up the color. And I'm on day 15 now. And now is where I'm starting to see the color coming in. And I don't have anything on my lips. So the color is slowly coming in, but it won't be neon bright. I didn't go like dark red. I actually just had her kind of do a mix of colors that enhanced the current color that my lips were prior to having this done. It was done intentionally to be not crazy wild looking. I don't want to look like I'm walking around with lipstick on my lips. That's not the intention. However, it does make it, I don't know, they look a little more full when they have color. She could even them out a little bit because we all have crookedness to our bodies, our features, our faces. And it just makes it easier. So if I do want to wear like lip liner and lipstick, which is very rare, it's, usually for a potential, special event or something, but I generally just want to be able to go a la naturel as much as possible and feel comfortable with myself. And this is a good way to do that. How long does it last? It'll last at least 2 years. And I have found that usually touch-ups, if a year and a half in and I start seeing it fading and I want it, but the color's not that far off, so I don't think I'll have that issue. So it may actually last longer than that. But everybody's different. Like our bodies metabolize things differently. It's like people ask how long lip filler lasts. It really depends on your body and how quickly you metabolize the actual fluid that's in your body. So everybody's different. So you would want to, you know, have those conversations if it's something you're thinking about doing with an esthetician who's doing it, or the permanent makeup artist. And that's the same person who does my tattoos, the microblading, and permanent makeup. She's the same person, and she is local here, and she's fantastic, and she's gorgeous. And she actually teaches these techniques. So I know she's great at what she does, and she has more than proven how qualified and talented she is. And overall, it's a great experience. I am, I've said this time and time again, I will continue to say it, I am a firm believer in doing the things that make you feel good about yourself. Like I work out every day, I try to eat healthy, and I want to, enjoy life. I don't want to stress. And if, getting a few things done here and there makes me feel better about myself, more confident, then I am all about that. And I am all about that for everybody else out there. So if it is something you're interested in doing, I know there are a lot of places that do them. It may be different. It may not be a tattoo artist. It may be just a permanent makeup artist, or an esthetician who does, any of these procedures. But, I will say that it's been a really good experience, and I would do it all over again. The recovery time, with the microblading, it's about the same time frame. They say about 2 weeks it takes to mostly heal, and then the color starts to come in between the 3rd and 4th week, and by the 4th week the color is there. So over the next 2 weeks the color will continue to kind of brighten up, and it'll just kind of, I don't know, it's like almost like every morning I wake up there's a little bit more color there, which is really cool. And I'll definitely, update you guys on, you'll see me on camera because I put myself on camera to say whatever to you guys. So you'll get to see how it looks. But I'm really pleased so far. I would highly recommend, if it's something you've thought about doing, I would say it's definitely worth doing. I think it's anything that makes you feel better, guys. That's just how I approach life and how I approach myself. And so anybody that likes, because I've gotten some harsh comments as well, to each their own. I don't judge other people for what they choose to do to their bodies. And so hopefully people will respect the choices I make for my body, right? But overall, all good. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. I may not know the answer, but I will tell you if I do know the answer to it. But well worth the money spent, and people will probably ask how much, and I don't want to share how much because it would probably vary depending on your area, that sort of thing, and what they charge in different areas. It's an investment, but I find that it's very worth the investment. For what we spend on dolls, it's like a drop in the bucket, really. So to me, it's like, no big deal. And I didn't think twice about it. So that's just how I approach it. But anyways, guys, hopefully that helps you understand the whys behind why I do what I do. And also kind of a little bit more about the procedure. If it's something you are interested in, definitely seek out someone in your area and ask those questions. I didn't have, another question, are there any side effects? I had no side effects other than with the eyebrows, none, didn't have any problems. With the lips, there was a little swelling, but that's normal. By day 3, they were fully back to their normal size. However, I was kind of sad because they looked really good, nice and full. I won't lie. But other than that, no big deal. As soon as she was done, they may sting a little bit, but because you're putting ointment on them, and as long as you keep them moist, not a word I generally like to use, you guys, but as long as you keep them moisturized, I didn't have chapping, I didn't have any open wounds or anything like that. They just looked fuller than normal. and they had a layer of color on them until it starts to kind of go away. But there was no weird wonkiness. I didn't have to like not be on camera for meetings afterwards. I actually hopped on a Zoom meeting a couple hours after I had it done, and nobody knew. So it's like, it's great. So the recovery of it is really nothing, and they didn't like hurt or throb, or I didn't have any of that pain after the fact. It was pretty seamless, pretty easy. Maybe I have a higher threshold for pain. I don't know. So your experience might be slightly different, but definitely worth the, little bit of pain to go through it. It's, definitely worth it. So hopefully that answers your questions. If you have more, like I said, leave them in the comments below. I will try to answer them as honest as possible. And hopefully you guys get some sort of takeaway from this. But I like sharing the experience because I know I'm not the only one out there that does different things and has tried different things. And if I don't like something, I will for sure share it with you. Like the Botox wasn't for me. Maybe for me in the future. I didn't like how my face felt. I like to have movement here, and eventually I'm sure I'm going to need something here because I do have fine lines here, but it's nothing that major that bothers me yet. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Botox at this point in time, but there's nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of people really like it. But I will be completely honest with you whether I liked it or not, and whether it was for me. So we're all different though. Everybody's experience is very different, and how your body reacts to it is also very different. So yeah, I'm very honest. I'm an open book. I have no problem sharing my thoughts on these sorts of things because I know a lot of people want to know if they've never had them done. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. But anyways, I hope you're having a great week so far, and you'll see me very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.